I think it's honest as the entrepreneurs, do not think your neighbor Tom is a competitor. I think, look at the thing you do is do not focus your eyes on the competitor. You are too small to focus yourself on your neighbor or the competitor. Focus your customers. Make your customer happy is important. Most of the big companies, when they talk about competitors. I think my suggestion one day, giving you guys when you go become bigger, when it comes to China, most of the American companies, internet companies failed in China. One of the reasons is that they spend too much time on making their boss happy rather than their customer happy. They spend too much time on competing, not long-term strategy. So as the entrepreneur, the always number one priority is customer and employee. And then I told the team that internet is like 10,000 meters running racing. We just finished the first 100 meters yet. Do not think the people beside you is a competitor. Running for another 3,000 meters, then you know who is a competitor. We are good today. We may not be good if we lose our hope, if we lose our vision.
You lose your culture.
If we lose our culture and team, we're nothing. Most of the companies, they were so good. When Netscape was so good, we never thought it would disappear. Yahoo was good. We never thought like it today. So don't believe you'll be good all the time. Be paranoid. I remember there is a guy called David Wong. That was early days when I came to America. I talked about the internet, about the value mission of the company. This guy sitting there, he was working for Fortune 500. He said, Jack is a crazy guy. How could you, a company has no business model, no money, and talk about the mission, vision, and value. I say, David, come to my company. So I came to China, spent 3 days in my company. When he leave, he said, Jack, I found you are crazy. Now I found 100 crazy guys in your company. They all talk and seem like you. A company, if you have 100 crazy guys, we do not think we are crazy. We think the outside world are crazy.
Yeah.
So this is very, very important. And also, I think for the first 3 years of Alibaba, we had no revenue, no business model. And I told the team, forget about the money, revenue today. If you want to be a long-term company, the only thing think about is customers. The best revenue for our first 1 or 2 years, the best revenue is what? It's the email of thanks. That's the best revenue. If the customer sends you email saying, you are great. I was so happy early days when I went to a small restaurant, people will pay my bill with a small note to say, Jack, thank you very much. I know you do not make money, but we made a lot of money through your website.
Yeah.
I like that. Even now, today, I had a lot of customers, they pay me something, It's not a bribery, but there's a boy, he's in the hotel, he opened the door for me, he said, Jack, thank you so much. My wife makes more money than me on your site. So this is the best. Yeah. And I want to keep this culture in the company, keep on going. So, the second thing is culture, the people. And the third is build up a healthy environment for Alibaba. I do not know about accounting, marketing. I know very little about that. But the thing I learned from being a teacher, that a teacher always wants his students to be more successful and better than you are. So this is, I learned to be a good CEO. When I hire people, I always want to hire those people who are smarter than I am. And today I give a lot of advice to my colleagues. When they hire people, there's one judge. Look at the young man. If you think he will be your boss, he will be my boss in 5 years, hire him. Do not find people who will follow you all the time. So as a teacher, you want this student become a banker, this is a scientist, this is a mayor. You don't want this student bankrupt, that is in jail, So this is the way that I benefit. And then when I become a CEO, I call myself Chief Education Officer. And I love to talk, I love to share, because when as a teacher, you may not know a lot of things. The only things you learn and you share. People may not like the way I talk. And my job is not to make people happy. My job is to make people think. This is the way we did. If it is helpful for you, take it. If it's not helpful for you, just to forget it. So I love to be with the entrepreneurs, because you guys reminds me the past 18 toughest years that we've got. And I believe one thing, I'd give my advice to all of you, as an entrepreneur, today is very difficult, and tomorrow is even more difficult. But the day after tomorrow is very beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening. You have to work hard, you have to learn, you have to rely on your team. And that's my business. As an entrepreneur that never, build up a good team and set the big vision, but milestones and go on, never give up. You might have a lot of problems, right? But you can see the problem you're facing, your competitor will face it too.
Yeah.
And you think you have a lot of tough days, but your competitor may have a much easier. You never know, right? So you say that the competition with you is not is the speed of solving the problems. Everybody, when you have a dream, you have to dream globally, but you have to win locally. You have to survive today, but you also have to think about the future. If you do not think about the future, if you do not have a vision for 10 years later, what will you be? You will never have a great people follow you and join your company. But if you cannot survive, you go nowhere. Right? No matter how big dream is, it is telling a lie. And I know I may not succeed, but I told my 18 founders that first, even if we fail, some people will win. Internet is the future. E-commerce is the future. No matter you like it or not, 80% or 90% of business in next 30 years will be online. And no matter what, the best way to serve the world is the internet. So I know that if I cannot make it, somebody will make it. So I continue to make it. And then the second thing I try to prove is that if Jack Ma can be succeed, 80% of the young people can be successful. We don't have money. We don't have a relationship. I don't have a powerful, rich father, even though we don't have a rich father or uncle that can sponsor us. Everything we do is the 18 founders. We believe the future. We make progress. Even among the 18 founders, we only have 3 engineers. Among the 3 engineers, only one of them had 3 years experience at university, study computer. The other 2, they are like amateur computer. When they open it, they don't know how to fix it. Start from there to today, we have 25,000 engineers in our company. 15 years ago, 18 years ago in my apartment, I told my team, we are the hope of China. Because we are the guys without any resources. If we can make it, most people can make it. If most people like us, without money, without resources, only with the dream and belief, if we can succeed, China will be successful. Our great entrepreneurs should not have money. If you have money in your mind, this is US dollars, this is RMB, and you're talking like English pounds. Nobody will work with like. If you have a good dream, if you have a plan to making progress, things will happen. Supporting entrepreneurs is always my dream, because I know how tough it is to be an entrepreneur. It is difficult. I never cry. I said, I only make my competitors cry. Because if I cry, I'll probably die 100 times. Because we have to encourage our team, and I say, making sure that we can survive tomorrow. As I said, before I answer your question, I want to say this is my belief. And this is what I tell every day to myself. Today is difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. But the day of tomorrow is beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening. Even today, as my size, for our company's size, I still believe today is very difficult. I have more problems than anybody here can imagine. You say, now you are big. You make billions of dollars every quarter. I have much more problems than you have. Much more headache than you have. When I was young, 18 years ago, I thought, what if I can make my company bigger? Then I can cigar, lie on the beach. I have a lot of people work for me. I thought now the company is getting bigger, my problem is getting bigger. I'm getting much busier. But this is our life. One day, when you pick up the job as an entrepreneur, this is your life, you pick up. Don't complain. Where's the opportunity? The opportunity always lies in the place where people complain. If you solve the complaint, you got a problem. You got an opportunity. This is what I believe. And also, as an entrepreneur, I think most of the projects I heard there is about platform. You guys are building a platform. The essence of building a platform? A lot of people in China want to build up a platform. The difference between build a company and build up a platform is a platform is to enable others, make other people happy. A company is to make yourself happy. This is the difference between 20th century and 21st century. If you're 21st century, if you want to be successful, making sure your employees are successful, making sure your customers are successful because you're using your services. If you can make your customers successful, your employees successful, your platform will be successful. This is the essence. And remember that. Empower others. You are empowering yourself, and you are empowering your platform.
One of the struggles that a lot of our entrepreneurs are finding is how to become leaders. And I truly believe there's a big distinguishing factor between entrepreneurs and good leaders. So my question is, are there any leadership principles that have contributed to your success as a leader, not as an entrepreneur?
Leader doesn't have a fixed style, right? Some leaders good at speaking, some leaders never speak by actions. Leadership doesn't have a style. Everybody can be a leader. A good leader should have a vision. The vision is not necessarily good, because when I work in the company, when everybody was disappointed, I have to tell them. I have to see before the other people see the opportunity. When everybody excited, I have to see the disaster. Especially as a CEO of like me in the Alibaba group, my job is to see the problems of the future. So, and kill the problems before the disaster comes. So a leader must have a vision. A leader should inspire a team. A leader should discipline a team. I learned my management skill one day. I was talking to the famous general of the United States. He was talking to a group of people, say, how do you discipline your lieutenant? He's a general. The guy who lead the first Iraq war. What's his name?
Pauline Cole.
Yeah, Pauline Cole.
Yes.
He said, you as a leader, you have to get up early before the lieutenant. You have to sleep before the lieutenant, late before, after the lieutenant. You have to eat before after the lieutenant to eat. But if you have a problem with the lieutenant, what are you going to do? Fix him, remove him, and fire him. Leadership is not only about inspiring. Leadership is those people who join your company. You have to create value for him. You have to making sure in 3 years he will be different. Not because his job is different, because if the people are not different, the products will never be different. I told many people when they joined Alibaba, I say, guys, I don't know fortunate or unfortunate in joining Alibaba. We work much longer than the others, much harder. We had more problems than most of the companies. If you can survive in Alibaba, you can survive at any company in the world, because life is tough. We never promise you will be rich, you will be successful, you will be promoted. But we will promise you, you will be a problem, you have a wrong, you will make a mistake, you have a terrible boss. We all promised. So you set the expectation, but have a good vision. So that is the way we manage the company. And I think when you hire good people, the good people believe the vision they will get. So when I visiting the company, whether it's a good CEO or not, I do not listen to the CEO. I listen to his people. If the people believe the vision, or the people believe this guy. If the people believe the vision, if the people believe this guy, this company has hope. A good entrepreneur can always tell good stories. I don't need to listen to story from you guys. I can tell your people, right? If your people, any young people in your company, he can tell me the vision. He can tell me what they're doing. That is a good company. That's leadership. Leadership is making sure everybody, when they sleep, when they drink, when they talk, when they go to the toilet, they talk your vision. And they believe it.
When is the right time for you to know that you can start paying yourself?
Pay myself?
Yes.
Good question. A lot of startups complain that they never get the money from banks, never get the money from the other venture capitalists. Well, rejected by banks, rejected by your venture capital is very normal. You got the money from these guys, not normal. Why people want to help you? Right? There's no reason people help you. You get help because you earn the credit. You earn the reputation. So borrow money from your friends, families. That's the first step. That's everybody. If you cannot even borrow money from your friends and relatives, you guys have a problem. Nobody trusts you, right? So I heard you borrow through $2,000, $1,000. That's good. That means you have this trust from those people that around you. At least you got somebody. So that's called the seeding money. Seeding money means you have to grow. The seed is not the money. That money is what? That money is the trust of the seed. You have to use your money very carefully. And then spend the money. I tell you the true story that what I did. 18 founders. I told 18 people the day when we have the first meeting. I say, guys, now put all your money on the table. Nobody is allowed to borrow money from your parents. I don't want to spend their pension. Nobody is allowed to borrow money from friends. That's your saving. No matter how much money you have, put on the table. Keep 10 months job, living expense in your pocket. Because 10 months later, if we cannot raise money or make money, we all go together looking for jobs. And you have to live 5 minutes driving or walking distance from my apartment. So I call you, you come. And people say, we don't go home, we sleep there. And then we gathered $50,000. We thought we can last for 10 months. but we only lasted 3 months. Even if we spend every cent very carefully, because remember, good days always come very late. Tough days always come early. No matter how safe, the money is spent very quickly. So we did not have a pay for those first 8 months, even if when we raised the money from venture capitalists, $5 million, our first round, we did not have pay. And then we started to pay 500 RMB, which is like $60 a month. $60. My CFO, today he's vice chairman of the company, his pay at that time like 300,000 US dollars pay, annual pay. He joined me and I say, I cannot pay you money. He said, okay, I cannot even pay you 500 RMB for 1 month. He said, okay. So we all agreed for the first year we don't have a pay. When we start to have the pay, we pay the employee first. When we have a raise money, when we have certain money that we think we can survive for 2 years, I told the team, all right, let's start to pay. But we can never compare our pay with the other company. People say, Jack, Microsoft paid us that much, that you only can pay us that much. I said, please go to Microsoft. Right? For us, we give options. We give shares. My share in the company early days was close to 60%. Today, my share is only 7%. I give all my shares to the people because my investor did not believe. One of my key investors, he did not believe in giving shares to the colleagues. He said, no, Jack, don't give shares to the colleague, to the employees. I say, I have to say, if you want to give, you give. I don't give. I say, I give. Even if I give my shares, today, I think I don't know how many, what is my stock price yesterday? $150 something. We start from 1 cent. From the first day 1 cent to today, we divided a lot, probably like $500, $800. When I give the 1 cent to many employees, those people love the 1 cent. They are good colleagues. They say, I'm okay with 500 RMB, $50 a month. I love the share options. I want the shares. Those people want the dollars. They don't want options. They are not your people. So I give a lot of shares to people. I remember one day when we want to dissolve USA office in Silicon Valley because we made a mistake, have an office in America. I said, guys, either you bring 2,000 US dollars back or 1 cent for each shares. Everybody say, give me $2,000. Nobody wants Alibaba shares. I know we hide the wrong people. When we're profitable, or close to profitable, we start to give share. If you are profitable without even paying your employees properly, you are not profitable at all. A real business, you should never rely on your colleagues have a tiny. So early days for Alibaba, our pay in our city is below average, but our option is good. And then when we're profitable, we say we should be better, a little bit better than the average pay of our city. Because we don't want, today, even us today, I think Alibaba is the richest company in our city. We can pay them very good, but we still we don't want to unbalance the city. We don't want to get every company to hire good people join us. This is the ecosystem. So we encourage our colleagues when they're 5 years old, or when they stay in the 5 years or 10 years, we encourage them to join the other company, even the competitors. Because in this way, that you are getting new fresh into. And those people for 5 years, 10 years, because they are so tight, we're working so hard, that for 5 years in Alibaba is like 15 years in any other company. So we have to let them go. Pay. Think about it. before you break even, you have to think for your employees because they have wife, they have kids, they have family to raise. You can be crazy, your people can be crazy, but you as the founder and CEO, you have to care your colleagues. Only when you care for the colleagues, your colleagues will care for your customers. That's what we believe.